Hi everyone and welcome to my recent game collection video from January and February. A little bit less games than usual, mainly because I didn't want to include these and all the upcoming March releases on the same video. But anyway, let's start with the only January release that I got here, Monster Hunter World, which I was originally little bit worried about. I felt like maybe it's going to be more like spin-off than an actual sequel to a series because of the name World instead of 5. But thankfully my worries were completely unnecessary. The game feels great. Sequel to a great series. It feels like it's improvement on pretty much every way possible. Especially, I think biggest improvement in my opinion is the maps being one big area instead of being separated into smaller areas and those being connected with the short loading times. I think that's a huge improvement to the flow of the gameplay, and also the gameplay feels quite amazing. I enjoy the game a lot. But anyway, let's continue with the February releases. A bunch of re-releases and remakes. Starting with Dragon's Crown Pro, which I got as a royal package, and like usual links to unboxings of all these limited editions in the description. Even though the name Pro, it's pretty much same game as it was on PS3 and Vita back when it was released on those. Pretty much only new additions are the optional orchestra version of the soundtrack and some visual improvements thanks to the newer hardware, especially on the PlayStation Pro. And I guess that's the reasoning for the little extra in the name. But anyway, pretty much the same game as it was back on the older consoles. Still great game. But I feel like I'm not going to play the game so soon again a lot. Going to give it a try, but not going to spend as much time with the re-release as the older versions when that was released. And next, Wanda to Kyozou, or as it's known here in the West, Shadow of the Colossus. I never played the PS3 remake, but I have played the original PS2 version, and I feel like now it's been a long time enough to play the game again. I believe there are some minor differences in the gameplay, but because it's been so long time since I played the PS2 version, at least I can't notice those minor differences. The visual upgrade is much more noticeable. Game looks much better nowadays with the improved visuals. But anyway, I think it's a great game, probably my favorite game from Teamico. Great game and nice to have a new upgraded version of it. And next, Seiken Densetsu 2, Secret of Mana. I never played the original one. I gladly take remakes of SNES games, mainly because I mostly missed that console back in the days. After NES I played mostly on PC until the first PlayStation console, so I missed quite a lot of classics from SNES, this one being one of them. As a newcomer to the game and as to the series as a whole, at least I've been enjoying this remake of the game. The gameplay and menus and such show the old age of the game, but at least I enjoyed it. I feel like it's a nice and fun game. And this remake definitely made me interested in the Seiken Densetsu collection on Nintendo Switch. Probably have to get that as soon as I get the console itself. Especially because I feel like I would probably personally enjoy the sprite artwork of that version of the game more than the visual style of this remake. I'm not saying the visual style of this one is bad necessarily. I enjoy it, I think it's fine, but I feel like it's not as amazing as the sprite artwork of the original version was back when it was released. But still, at least I enjoy the remake a lot. I guess I have to say that there's been some minor problems on the performance side. The game has crashed few times when I've played, but thanks to the autosave feature you don't lose much progress even on the crashes, but still it's a little bit annoying when it happens. But anyway, still nice game. And next, last of the remakes, Senran Kagura Burst Renewal, which I got as a new DX pack. So it's a remake of the first game in the series. Never played the 3DS version of the game, so unfortunately I can't compare this remake to the 3DS version of the game. But when comparing to the festival versus, this feels quite similar to the that game, the previous Senran Kagura game on PS4, the beat 'em up one, not the shooter one. So it almost feels like it's a mix of gameplay of festival versus and story of the first game. But at least I enjoy the game and glad to see the story first point where it all started. So yeah, I gladly take this remake. Last game from February that I've got, Kyozou Panzer Dream Tank Match, which I got as a premium edition. I was a little bit worried about the amount of single player content in the game. I felt like it might end up being more focused on the multiplayer side, But to some extent, I guess the fear was correct. For example, the story mode is quite short. It's just the fights of the movie, their film, and the missions aren't very long. They can be finished quite fast. But thankfully there's some replay value to the story mode as well. Thanks, because you can choose different roles in some of the missions, and also in few of them you can also choose the completely opposite side of the battle, so you can see different sides of each fight. So there's some replay value to story mode, and also there's few other single player mode like extra missions, and I believe it was called Dominion Battle or something like that, where you choose a school and you get a bunch of randomly generated missions, but unfortunately the randomly generation is quite limited, so you end up playing quite similar matches each time. But still, I think there's, at least in my opinion, there was enough single player content for me, at least. And I must say I really enjoy also the fact they included bot matches where you can create your own matches against bots if you enjoy the single player content and you run out of all the single player content and want more. You can create your own custom matches against bots if you don't want to play the multiplayer mode. But anyway, at least I enjoy the game quite a lot. Haven't tried the multiplayer mode at all. For some reason I don't hugely enjoy the multiplayer mode in these type of games. But as a single player game I enjoyed it quite a lot. And that's already all the January and February releases that I've got so far. Quite a lot of re-releases and remakes of older games, so not so many new games in that sense. But anyway, thanks for watching and bye!